Thank you, everybody, for welcoming me back. I appreciate that. Welcome back to another episode of Who Got the Aux Podcast. Y'all catch the rich people fighting again online as they do so well. This stemmed, I believe it was Nicki Minaj and Latto, two female rappers. I hate how they pit our female rappers against each other. Like, apparently there can only be one female rapper every 5 to 10 years. It's ridiculous. But nonetheless, Nicki had an issue with them taking her out of the rap category and putting her in the pop category. And her argument is that by putting her in a pop category, she's going to be competing with bigger acts and bigger names, which is almost like a guaranteed loss in a sense. Whereas she would have bodied the rap category, which has been rap up to this point. So then she calls out Latto saying, well, if my record is considered pop, that record went crazy. I think it was the one with Mariah Carey, which is true. She has a point. There's definitely a lot of politics that goes on with that. But what threw me off was that I didn't know we cared about the awards, especially the Grammys. I ain't gonna lie. I used to be an award person. I looked forward to the awards. When they gave Macklemore, is it Macklemore? When they gave Macklemore best hip hop album, best rap album over Good Kid, Mad City, like up until that point, I've heard, as you get older, you realize that it's just more of a pay to play type of situation. And, it's not off the merit like we all believed it was, right? I just want to make sure it was Macklemore. It's the wrong people. Yes, thrift shop. I'm going to put my tags. Only got $20 in my. That beat out Good Kid, Mad City. One of the greatest hip hop albums of all time. When that happened, I knew at that point that I was done with award shows. But I know as a culture, a lot of rappers and people from our cultures begin snubbed year after year after year. So it sucks that now that they're going at each other, exposing DMs, exposing messages, calling each other this name and the third, brothers are rapists, you're this, and it all stemmed from an award show that one isn't legit and two snubs us all the time. Now, I get it when you're in that business. It's kind of like content creators, what we do for likes, views, and follows. That's our currency to generate income. Well, if you're a Grammy nominated or Grammy winning artist, you're asked for a feature to show up somewhere, your rate goes up. So it's very important in their world from a business standpoint. So I'm not an ignorant fan on the outside. Like, it's just a trophy. Like, I understand what it does for people in the business, but it's just unfortunate. Two female rappers, black. Latto came from that Jermaine Dupri show, so she been in it for a minute. But I just, again, I said this about T.I. on the last episode, and I said every time I see celebrity, like, I hope, because obviously my goal is to be on some Joe Rogan stuff, making millions of dollars. I hope when I get to that point that I am too busy to screenshots and argue with people online. Like, I don't understand the online part. I was talking about that with the Rico case, like the online part. Why does it have to be online? I don't know. That's just what they do now. And the Barbs, their fans, and then you have people going to each other in comments. It's a very weird dynamic of our world now. It's like everybody follows their celeb, and then once their celeb is under attack, we're under attack, and you gotta go. And it's weird. It's weird. It feels good to be free. I'll say that. Welcome back to another episode, Who Got the Aux Podcast, WhoGotTheAux.com. Full episodes. This is my first full week, third episode of the week. I definitely can do this. I'm super excited about it. I'll continue. Who Got the Aux Media on YouTube for full videos of the episode, plus shorts, plus how-to videos, vlogs, anything video. You can see it there. Who Got the Aux, one word, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Who Got the Aux _ Twitter. Those are the places you can subscribe, find more content, do whatever you please. I'm doing me. Yeah, that happened. Happy weekend. Happy Friday. I'm debating if I want to date my shows, but I already did it on this one. So happy Friday. But yeah, moving forward, I don't think I'm gonna do that because it's always weird. That could be my little nitpick, but like I'm listening to a show. Like if you already know you're listening to a show that's old, the last thing you want them to do is be saying stuff that's dated because it really just puts you out of sync. So messed up on that one, but it's cool. This episode I wanted to talk about the Redeem team. I've been seeing a lot of videos go around And I should have known that it was a doc because once you start, it's like the Tiger King or whatever. Once you start seeing people make memes and TikToks and videos, there's some new content out. And it's on Netflix. The Redeem Team is basically, after the U.S. lost like 2 or 3 straight Olympics in a row, they built the team. Coach K came, Kobe, Wade, young Bron, young Melo. Darren Williams was on there. Boozer was on there. Michael Redd was on that squad. Who else? Well, Chris Bosh. Whatever. This was in 2008 in Beijing, which when you look back on it, 2008 was Beijing was that year. That's when Olympics was going crazy. You had Phelps going crazy. You had Bolt going crazy, and you had the Redeem Team going crazy. 2008 was your year, man. It's my graduating year as well. So shouts out to everybody from the 08 year. But I was watching it. One, what a flex, because at the end, it shows the list of some of the EPs, executive producers, and LeBron James and Dwayne Wade. I'm like, what a flex, bro. Not only did you live this amazing story that's worth being a doc, were you a pivotal role in this doc? Wait, where are we at now? 14 years later, you were so successful that you were able to EP the doc, which means you had creative control for sure. And it was great. Like it was, content was great, production was great, the storytelling was great. And then of course, rest in peace, late great Kobe. Like you almost forget until you see it. It's like, damn, Kobe ain't here. That was sad. But it was amazing. And you learned a lot. I definitely would suggest you go watch it. It's a good watch. It's only like an hour 40 or something. And I don't know if they did it, but I always say this about the Netflix docs. They always start off with violins, right? If you haven't noticed that before, I don't know if the Redeem Team did it. But that's how you know if the doc gonna be fire. If you're going through Netflix and they showed a little preview in it, if they got any type of string violin, it's about to be a fire doc. I've learned that. If you don't know that, now you know. But the one thing I took from it, because, doing podcasts and making content and the work I do, I have to look at life and observe it more and see what I could take from it, whatever. And the one thing that I appreciated, because it's kind of on brand with what I kind of preach with what I do, was how important the mental game was. I'm not going to spoil it too much. I mean, I don't even think spoil is the right word. It's a doc. Like we already know what happened. But Coach K, who's the retired coach from Duke, successful, one of the greatest coaches of all time, it was a consistent theme. It was like, we have the greatest players. Talent wasn't an issue. You had LeBron, Wade, Bosh, Melo, Kobe, the names I named, right? But that just shows the coaching, but that also shows the importance of the mental. Every step of the way. And I don't know if maybe that's how they produced it to get that across, but every step of the way, there was a mental game. He did something for their mental, to get them mentally prepared, to get them ready so they can see, so they can understand, so they can become. It was mental. And the first thing I thought was, if that doesn't stress to you, if you don't watch that doc, and if that doesn't stress to you the importance of your mental state, these are world-class athletes. And 08, I want to say at that point, Wade had already won the chip, right? I want to say Wade had already won it. Yeah, they was talking about that. Wade had a ring already. So it's not like it was their rookie year for this doc. I think their rookie year is when they lost, but 2004 or something like that. But for a Hall of Fame coach to have these Hall of Fame type players, and it wasn't too much about the X's and O's, where it was more about mental preparation. And I bring that up because in what we do in life, right? You want to learn something. You buy a camera, for example. What's the first thing you want to do, right? I want to learn how to use. And I take that back. Most people just want to learn how to do the bare minimum. People will spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on a camera, and all they know how to do is put it in 4K mode, slow motion, and how to get the lighting, right? And some of them don't even learn. They just kind of play around with it until it's the lighting they want. Like, they don't even understand the language. And the same thing with everything else. You get gear, you get car, you just want to buy stuff and everything you need, white balance, more lighting, this whole setup, right? But nobody really takes the time to mentally prepare themselves for what they're asking for. Right? We all sit here and say, oh, I would love to be able to, make this amount of money to travel, or make X amount of money to retire my parents, or make X amount of money to buy my first home, or whatever. And that's the dream. That's the want. But no one mentally prepares yourself for the work, because you have to ask yourself this. If it was something attainable and very easy, then it would be like podcasting and rapping, right? Everybody would be doing it if it was a low barrier of entry. But clearly there's a reason why successful people, when you watch their interviews, when you hear their stories, you hear the grind, you hear that they got into reading all these books, you hear that they had to shift their way of thinking, they had to shift their focus and their discipline and their consistency. Those aren't things. You can't do more push-ups to get consistency. You can't do more sit-ups or buy another lens for discipline. You can't buy another mic or buy some new clothes to grind. That is a mental thing. That is a mental thing. And people are wondering why that they're putting themselves in what they think is a position, whether they're trying to get followers or on this. So I'm using my example because I can speak on my examples best. In this content creating game, people are wondering why, they might go get a 1 million view video get lucky or something, right? But they're wondering why they can't maintain it. Or they're wondering why, like, I guess I got to do this for the rest of whenever, right? I'm the guy that does this. That's what I went viral. And it's like, all you're going to do is end up putting yourself in the same position you're in now, working a job you really don't want, but it pays good. And some people are okay with that. But some people like me, when we go onto this adventure, at least my mindset is, let's create the perfect scenario, because it's from scratch. When I go apply it to a job, I have to mold into what they need. The schedule, the hours, the work, the pay, the PTO, right? But if I'm going to make something from scratch, I'm not going to adopt the same system I'm trying to get away from. I'm going to set it up perfectly to do exactly what I want. But that takes mental toughness to start this. When you post videos and they flop, when you don't feel like it, that's one. I already said it, so I'll say it again. Today is a Friday, right? Most people, I won't even say most people. I'll speak for myself because I've been doing this. You know what I used to do back when I wanted to make it and thought I had the work ethic? I put a podcast out once a week, every Friday. No, we would record Fridays. The podcast would drop on a Monday. And then I'll try to cut up some clips here and there, like a funny moment, because that's like standard issue promotion. That was it. And I thought that was what was needed to make it. Now I look back and laugh because I'm like, anybody could put out an episode once a week. I see people put out podcasts consistently, right? And this is connecting to that, but it's like, yes, you want to be consistent. And yes, you want to be disciplined, right? But you also have to be self-aware, and you also have to continue to grow. Like, just because you've been posting for years straight and you're every Monday and you're on it, but your content is still the same, you're still going to get the same results. Now you're just wasting your time. Got off on that tangent, but back to that doc though. I've been pushing this whole mental thing, like with a lot of scripts, a lot of videos. All right, it's like anything, it all comes from the mental side. And where I am now, like, I have to watch myself when I say things are simple or things are easy, because it wasn't. It is now. Once you get over the hump and once you rearrange how you look at things and how you approach things, it's very black and white. It's like, why haven't I been doing this? But until I have to remember that I was on the other side, and I have to remember that it was very hard to get to this side. It took me till I was 31 years old to get, and even in that process, that was hard to rid off those bad habits. But once you understand that before you start anything, before you spend any money, before you record anything, take anything, it's up here, man. If LeBron James, Kobe, and Coach K and them are getting mentally prepared for the Olympics, you will see what I'm talking about when you watch the doc. I'm trying not to spoil it. Then who are we to think that, oh, I'm straight, I just want to make money? Like, no, like, if you're about to start your journey, and I'll end it with this, If you're ready to start a journey, or if you started a journey and you stopped and you're trying to get back started and you don't know where to go, blah, 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 blah. Before you start anything, and this is literally what I did with my situation, really ask yourself, what would you do for free? And we're trained to say certain answers, but be honest. If it's, I would pick my toenails for free, then figure out a way that you can make, if it's Feet Finder or whatever, figure out a way you can pick toenails for free. That's the whole thing, though. Be honest with yourself. What would you do for free? Passionate every day, likes, 0 likes, 100 likes, 0 follow. It's just what you wake up to do. That's the mental part. Figure that out first. Once you know exactly what you want to do, I promise you, I guarantee when you know what you want to do, even if it starts out the way it'll get you started, you still have to assess and grow. And my final example is I'm doing 17-minute podcasts. When I started off, I was doing 2-hour podcasts a week. And that was in February. We're in October now. We have a whole different game, but like it'll at least get you started. But understand the mental before anything else. Just check yourself at the door. You know, if you're not consistent, try to become that. If you're not disciplined, try to become that. But be honest with yourself. Eventually, you got to stop lying to yourself. You can lie to everybody else, but when you can't get certain things done, you have dreams and aspirations, and you wonder why you can't get it done, it's because you're not being honest with yourself. Find out what your flaws are and try to fix them before you go spend money and waste your time again. Sit still. That's what I did. 7 months, I didn't do anything. And I figured out who I was and what I wanted to be. And when I came out, we're on this journey now. So I'm telling you from experience. But go watch that. The Redeem Team on Netflix. Hopefully Nicki and Latto get it together. They won't. Our culture is pushed, or the culture is pushed off of drama, and they've been sharing it. And it's sad, man. I swear I feel like I'm not from this timeline, like Loki or something. But we'll figure that out in the end, right? Till next time. Thank you for listening. WhoGotTheAux.com, full episodes. Who Got the Aux Media? I think I'm gonna stop doing that. This will be the last one. Who Got the Aux Media on YouTube? Who Got the Aux, one word? You'll find me. I'm tired of doing that. But yeah, it's been fun. I enjoyed it. I'm about to go eat. I'm hungry as hell. And catch me on TikTok. Road to 10K. If you don't have me on TikTok, subscribe, follow. I'm trying to get to 10K likes. Just a goal of mine. I don't get any money. I don't know what comes from that, but I wanted to get 10K for the year is over with. So till next time. Oh no, I do music in post. Haha, I was about to play music. Till next time. See y'all later. Thanks for listening. Peace out.